Hello everybody, and welcome back to Space Engine. Yes, there was a bit of a 2D thing going on there. That's because the button I used, the hotkey for recording, is the same one that activates the stereoscopic mode. Yay! I don't have 3D glasses though, so I cannot see that. But yeah, my god, it's been what, 2 months? Yeah, 2 months. In fact, my last video was last month. That was a Risk of Rain video, which I feel kind of bad about. I need to do more. Where the hell am I? It's been so long. Judging by that, I'm in the Milky Way, because that's the Large and Small Magellanic Cloud. So, and that's going to be Andromeda. Yeah, alright. So at least we're still in the Milky Way. I guess we can just carry on and find something else to do. What's that over there? Let's speed up and go. Let's go 1 light year a second. That's pretty damn fast. Let's speed things up. Looks like an open nebula of some kind. Or an emission nebula, maybe. Oh, it's a diffuse nebula. Has kind of a hand look to it. It's a grabby hand. Kind of like the, well, not really. Kind of like the hand from Star Trek, the original series, the episode Who Mourns for Adonis, when Apollo grabbed the Enterprise. Whatever. Anyways, yeah, it's good to be back. This channel is not dead. It just, I tend to get very busy and can't actually work on it, which is unfortunate, because I enjoy making videos. But then again, I also don't make money off these videos. Which, to that end, I do not monetize these videos. Only one video is monetized, and it's monetized for the sole purpose to annoy conspiracy theorists. But for the most part, none of my videos are monetized. So if you see ads on them, that isn't me. That's YouTube has now started monetizing unmonetized videos for their own sake because they're greedy. And as a result, I must say, please get an ad block if you're watching this on the computer. uBlock or ad blocker does something to block Google ads because YouTube is really scummy and they do not deserve more money. So yes, please, please, please get an ad block because whenever I watch YouTube on my phone, which doesn't have an ad block, it's almost unwatchable. It's like, how can a 20-minute video have like, what was it? It was like, I saw one where it was like 20 minutes and it had like 6 back-to-back ads plus back-to-back ads in the beginning and at the end. And it's like, this is unsustainable. What is this? So I try to keep ads off my videos, but if you do see ads, I apologize. YouTube is no longer allowing me to keep ads off my videos. So, yes, get an ad block. Beyond that, it is happy first day of June, happy Pride Month, happy not summer, but it feels like summer in the Northern Hemisphere, maybe, possibly. It's quite warm today. It almost got to 30 degrees today. Celsius, mind you. It was like 28 degrees Celsius, which is hot. It was higher than body temperature, I should say. So, it's warm. I don't like warm. I like colder temperatures, but that's just me. Oh, good God. Also, I tend to feel better in cooler weather. I don't know what the deal is. I think my ear is screwed up. Yeah, I've been having, like, the vertigo things, which I need to get that looked into. I have to call my doctor, actually, next week anyways, and I'll complain about that to him at that time. Yeah. I also got my first COVID shot on Saturday. That was kind of fun. Actually, it was kind of fun because it's like I was expecting to get like really bad side effects because I worry about side effects of literally any medication. Like I think it's a phobia at this point of taking medications. Like I won't even take painkillers because I'm afraid of the side effects. Anyways, but the worst I got was like the next day I felt mildly feverish for like on again, off again, and my arm was sore, and that was it. I was like, well, that's nothing. Compared to how I sometimes randomly feel, like just nauseous and sick for no reason, it's like, that was nothing. So I'm expecting the second dose will probably hit me harder, but if it lasts the same amount of, like, it only lasts about a day, so even if it lasts like a day, it'll be fine. But yeah, so I'm dosed. Arm feels fine. Well, I mean, it doesn't hurt from the COVID shot anymore. I did kind of take a spill on my floor yesterday. I was trying to catch a wasp, and it started flying, and I tried to like dart to the side, but my socks lost traction on my floor, and instead of darting to the side, I essentially hurled myself to the floor and bruised my knee and my elbow, and pretty much my entire left side just hurts. And I can't blame anybody but myself, and that's what sucks about it. So yeah, we're 5 minutes into the space video, and I haven't talked about space. What's new in space? A ton is new in space. China launched the first module of their space station, which is really cool. James Webb's might finally be launching this year, hopefully. SpaceX is prepping for their first orbital Starship launch. That's kind of cool. Even if it goes wrong, it'll be cool, so I'm okay with that. Let's go there. I suspect it has... Oh no, the planet itself doesn't have any moons. Oh. Well, cool. What kind of life are we looking at? We are looking at unicellular organic, so we have some carbons going on here, and it's marine. Okay, that is very nice. It looks to be mostly landmass with some oceans, or more small seas at this point. Kind of like Vulcan, actually. It was like that from Star Trek. It was mostly desert with small seas. A really shitty planet. I kind of feel bad for the Vulcans, but whatever. So, yeah, okay, that's going to be a very small range of life then. Huh. Unless they evolve like terrestrial insects and plants and stuff. Like, plants just decided, like, screw it, we're going to leave, and they colonized the land. And never looked back. What else is new in space? Oh, there's a lot of stuff that happened. I have to think back. China landed their Mars rover. That was kind of cool. And a very exciting first, actually. Like, they did it first time. So that's incredibly cool. I really hope the European and Russian one lands successfully. That's the Rosalind Franklin rover. Because it doesn't have any, like, direct metabolism life-finding experiments, but it does have a couple experiments that can be used to look for current life. So, and I keep saying we need to send direct life-finding experiments to Mars, because we haven't since Viking, and it makes me very sad that we haven't. Especially, like, metabolism. I want to look for metabolism on Mars, and Titan, and Europa, and Enceladus. The list goes on, and Venus. God damn it, I love Venus. Yeah, in the world of my projects, I've been doing some more model kits. I have an Orion battleship model kit that you can buy now. I'll link to my store or my shop below. That's kind of fun. I'm finishing up a Mars umbrella ship model that hopefully I can put up for sale. I might need to tweak it a bit. The radiator is quite thin on it, and it feels a little wobbly, but we'll see. It might work. What else? Working on my rocket some more. I need to actually, like, stitch together a connecting point between the cone, the rotor, and the body. So we'll get that done eventually. My next balloon's almost done. I have the frame set up. I need to actually make it a bit smaller. Yeah. Actually, I might be flying an Ambisat on that flight, which is a company that makes these little chip satellites that you can buy and send to space. And I might be flying one of their Ambisats as to test it for them. So we'll see. We will see. That would be kind of fun. But yeah, it's just been a really busy month, and financially I've been kind of sorting stuff out, trying to make more money. I actually should probably get, like, a proper job, because my current income, which is a lot of just stuff, is not terribly... It isn't a lot. Like, I can pretty much pay for food and expenses, and it takes a long time to save for other stuff, so... I got a loan from my father to buy an e-bike, where it's basically like it looks kind of like a moped scooter, but it's technically a bike. It's electric. And that's because I don't actually... My current vehicle is a bicycle. Like, I got my learner's permit, my class 7, when I was, like, 14, like everyone else did. And I drove a whole bunch until I was 16, and then I went to get my license, and I failed the test a couple times, and then said, oh, I'll try again later. And then I just never really needed to, because I couldn't afford a car. And, the Korean Nebula. I couldn't afford a car anyways, and I couldn't afford insurance. So I just let it expire, and just hadn't given didn't really care. So, yeah. So I'm using my pedal bike for most of the time, or transit, or getting rides from other people. But now it's like I need an actual vehicle, so I got an e-bike because again they do not require insurance. So it's kind of like a low-speed motorcycle or a moped, but you don't need a insurance for it, so it's just much cheaper to operate, and it's electric, and I hate gas-powered vehicles, so that'll do me well for a little bit, but I'll eventually have to get my license and probably get a car or something. I'm hoping by then used electric cars will be cheap enough that I can just go that route, because again, I hate gas-powered cars. And just in general, I live in an oil province, where you can't go 5 feet without seeing somebody who has a sticker. It's like, I support Alberta oil. And it's like, really? I don't. So, yeah. Just going out of my way to be annoying. I was actually thinking of getting like a sticker for it that made some comment like that. But then I was like, nah, I don't want to get run over or vandalized. So I decided against it. I got a Halo sticker instead. Because I enjoy Halo. Good games. 10 out of 10. Oh, shit. What else is here? There isn't much. I don't even know what quadrant of the galaxy I'm in. I went by the Carina Nebula, so I guess I have some idea of where I am, but not a huge idea of where I am. My arm I keep resting my elbow on my armrest and it hurts, and it's like, damn it. That was so stupid. I hate bees. I know, I like bees. I don't like wasps, but I can't kill them because I don't kill small creatures. So my only option is to catch it in a jar and take it outside, which makes it, more likely that it's going to get pissed off and hit me. Like, my cat was batting one around the other day, and I was like, please don't hit the wasps. You're going to make it mad. Of course, he doesn't care if we kept doing it. So I had to catch a angry wasp that my cat had thoroughly pissed off. And it's like, thanks, bud. Way to make my job easier. It says moons with life. Organic multicellular subglacial. I'm intrigued by this. Oh, that's very bright. I should probably turn contrast down. It's your typical glacial ice body, probably an ice shell. Although I don't know if it actually it depends on its physical characteristics. If it has mostly ice, then it might be a full ice shell. Or it could do like what in Callisto's doing, that it's an aggregate of ice and rock, and it might have pocket oceans instead of a full mantle ocean. Actually, Enceladus might also have a pocket ocean, like near its south pole. Like, we don't know if it's a full moon-spanning ocean or a pocket ocean. But Callisto might actually have layers of oceans. You might have, like, ice-encased water bodies, and then you might have water bodies that are actually touching the core. And in the prospect of life, I think you're going to have you'd have more likelihood of finding life on an ice shell moon if there's a rock-water interface. Like on Europa, there's probably a rock-water interface where the water in the ocean is in contact with the rocky inner structure. Because if you have just water surrounded by ice, then you don't have much in the ways of like chemical exchange or energy exchange. So the chances of finding life in that environment, unless it was brought there, it's probably not terribly, like, life arising in that condition is probably not very likely. But if you have a rock-water interface, especially if there's geothermal activity, then you have energy and chemical exchanges between the water and the rocky interior of the moon, and you'll have a much better chance of getting life there. Like life on Earth may have arisen around hydrothermal vents in the oceans. So it's like that's the kind of environment you want. You want that rock-water interface. And Enceladus might have one. It does have a lot of organics in its water, so that gives some credence to the idea. Because Cassini flew through the plumes, and although it wasn't terribly accurate because it wasn't made to do that, it still was able to detect organics in the water, so that's exciting. We've never sampled Europa's plumes because we didn't actually know they existed until a few years ago. But I think the Europa Clipper is going to do that. It's going to fly around and just kind of collect or study the moon's space environment, which is excitingly fun because I like Europa. I still want a lander, but kind of a pain in the ass to get to the ocean. There is one idea where you can have like a drill or a probe that has like a nuclear tip, where it's just like nuclear material or a fission thingy, and it just kind of melts its way slowly through the ice. It would probably take like months or even years for it to actually get through the ice, depending on how hot it was anyways. You can do it passively just through gravity, or you can make an actual drill, but again, the ice might be kilometers thick, so you'd have to find the thinnest part of the ice to do it, or at least realistically. So it's kind of a challenge. We need more information on Europa, so I get why they're not trying a drilling lander. Although there are ideas for just a surface lander, which would be useful. But the environment on Europa sucks. It's just really high radiation flux. It's awful. But, again, water and ice are great for radiation shielding against both particle and EM radiation. So the actual ocean environment in Europa is probably like even in the highest radiation flux zones of its orbit, the oceans probably experience less radiation than like we do. It's like just right now, it's, in your house. So on the one hand, the environment under the ice of Europa might be more habitable, but there's also the concept that lower exposure to radiation might actually make evolution more sluggish because you don't get as many random mutations. It's like life living in a high UV environment. If it's adapted to that, then you might get faster evolution in the long run because you have more genetic damage and you get more mutations. You get higher mortality rates for the organisms, but higher mutation rates, so the chances of getting a favorable mutation increase. Whereas life on a planet with very little radiation exposure, like a thick atmosphere or something like that, you might get slower evolution unless because you have to rely more on internal mutations or chemical mutations, which every time a cell divides, it does mutate. So like even if you had no mutagens, no radiation, no chemical and environmental exposure, you'll still get random mutations and you'll still get evolution just because of how DNA works. It's not foolproof. It basically Xeroxes itself over and over and over again and screws up literally every time. So it's more just a matter of like what environment will offer you the best range of life versus not. It's a matter of time, radiation, chemical availability, energy availability. It's all very interesting. But once you start piecing these together, you start thinking of interesting locations to look for life. And you get like ice shell moons probably host the most life of any location in the universe. I would at least assume, based on what we know, that gas giants are very common in the galaxy. All of our gas giants have ice shell moons, like literally all of them. So it's not too crazy to think that other gas giants will also have ice shell moons, because water is also incredibly common in the universe. So when it comes to the most abundant abode of life, I would put money on ice shell moons being the most common. Whether or not that pans out, we won't know until we look, obviously. But I'm a big fan of ice shell moons. And weren't we just here? Did I really? No, this is a different place. Because like looking for planets like Earth, sure, if you want to find environments that we know have life, like we exist, then you want to find an Earth-like planet. But ice shell moons, in terms of this life that we know can exist, is probably the best bets for finding life. Although on super Earth, you can find so-called super habitable worlds that are planets that are bigger than Earth, have a thicker atmosphere, and a more stable climate. So you have planets like a planet around a K-type star, like an old K-type star, that has a thick atmosphere. So it has lower radiation on the surface, more stable climate because the it's like temperature exchange is more uniform, and a stable, long-lived star. And in these planets, you might find super habitability, where it's like life could actually exist better than it could here on Earth. But whether or not life could evolve on those planets, we don't know. It probably could. If all the conditions are met, then sure, why not? But it's all just very interesting because you have to figure out what kind of, like, what would life look like on such a world? Or the idea of, like, what if you had intelligent creatures on a super Earth that had gravity that was, like, 1 or 2 times higher than ours? It's like, and they want to develop space travel. How would they do it? They would have to either build in prohibitively large rockets, or they would have to rely on nuclear propulsion, like Orion drives, is their only means of getting to orbit. And it's like, that's an interesting idea of finding high gravity civilizations that can't use chemical rockets to get into orbit. They have to use Orion drives for everything because it's the only, like, propulsion powerful enough to get them off of their high gravity well planet. And it's like, I find it interesting. Or planets that have lower gravity than Earth, you might find low gravity species that have an incredibly easy time getting into space, like worlds like Titan, or planets that are like, even like Mars with a thick atmosphere, where getting into orbit is much easier, and they basically can just rely on simple rocket-powered SSTOs because they don't need staging. And it's like, I love thinking about these ideas. It's like, how would a civilization's technology evolve depending on conditions? How would the life evolve depending on conditions? And is it more advantageous to be in a place that has moderate surface radiation as opposed to no surface radiation, because you get more mutations, but possibly higher mortality? So it's like, it really makes you think. I didn't find a lot of planets this episode. I apologize. I don't know where I am. I just wanted to talk. It's been so long since I've done one of these videos, and I feel kind of bad. I have some recordings for another Risk of Rain video. Actually, 2 Risk of Rain videos. One of them's going to be an actual one. One of them's going to be like 5 or like 20 seconds. Because I keep making really funny builds using the artifact command, and it's just really funny to make videos of them. And then people are like, oh, you used the artifact command, you're not actually playing properly. It's like, I play without it, and I can still make really funny builds that way too. It just takes longer, but I whatever, it's not important. So anyways, that's 22 minutes. I should probably end the video here. I will sincerely try to make these videos more often. I just get busy very easily with other stuff. But be rest assured that these videos are in fact still going. This channel is still a thing, and I have not gone anywhere or died. Because I don't think I've died. Man, if this is purgatory, it's very disappointing. But anyways, thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you have ideas for place for me to go, let me know in the comments below. Topics to talk about, let me know. If you just want to say something, do so. I read all the comments. I try to anyways. So, yeah. Space.